calling this meeting to order of the Tourism Board. We have an agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion and second. Any more discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Minutes. Get the minutes from the District College meeting.
From last week.
Yeah, from last week? Just last week? Okay.
I have a couple of changes, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Chairman. I'm offended that my name is misspelled twice in here. Put an A in there.
Kelly was out of town, so.
At the top it's spelled right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's it wrong?
There at the bottom. I am just kidding about
We will get that changed.
That is that's a country singer, isn't it?
Well, actually, his is spelled the same way too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
You got that, Kelly?
There's two spots.
So with those two minor changes, I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, so, move on. We have let's see, what should we go with first here? Says Center for Nonprofit Management. So, Dean, you want to
Yes.
tell us about your experience with what you found?
So I did reach out to, totally bring that on the name, the lady that you gave me her number, she's the CEO of.
Ellie Vince, Terry
Her.
Hughes.
Yes, I did reach out to her, she referred me to Elle, who is the one that responded, and I had a phone conversation with about what they can offer us. I sent all this over to you guys, she kind of has a proposal and a process and a timeline, but the thing that I wanted to point out is the cost of $14,750 would be for all of the analysis, recruiting, screening, presentation, interviews, references, and assessments, all. And then the add-ons, of which one I think would be money well spent, is staff listening sessions to build morale and communicate search updates. Because she'll have a conference with each one of our staff members and kind of tell them where we are, what we're doing, ask them questions, say what was working in the past, what would you like to see in a new director, things like that. And since they're in the trenches, I felt like, one, it would give them the opportunity to feel important in this process, as well as possibly feed us information we would need to be looking for in a new director. So that's one add-on that I would suggest we do at $300. And then the only other thing that was in there, my eyeball's not going straight to it right now. There are some additional costs depending on if we were to bring a candidate in from out of town, would we want to pay for his travel expenses, his or her travel expenses to get them into town for that in-person interview.
And that's going to happen no matter how we do the process.
Have the,
And if we did it ourselves, we'd have that cost.
that's correct, that's correct.
Travel, yeah.
Yeah, so we may find someone in town that not be an issue, which means I don't think we really have to vote on it. We need it in our mind right now that it could be a possibility we'd have to discuss later. If the right person is coming from California, wherever that is, would we want to pay their travel expenses to get them for an in-person interview? So yeah, that $14,750 plus the $300 is what I would suggest that we look into doing. And a couple of other things in the conversation I found important that we should probably discuss is she did say that we should pick 2 or 3 people to be on the committee to work directly with her, and once we narrow it down, the entire committee come back in for, like, to present who we think would be the best one and you know, whether or not we interview for that. So those are the main things I got out of the conversation.
Yeah, I think probably narrowing the people who work directly with her would be a good idea. And then, you know, obviously, those people would need to report to the full committee, and I think that needs to be as frequently as possible. The one other thing that I noticed in there is writing up the job description. So our HR director was out of town, and when I read this proposal, I kind of pulled back. I sent the job description out, but I pulled back on trying to, you know, research and rewrite and all that stuff. I thought, well, if we're gonna pay them this much money,
Right.
let's let them write it. Yeah, now, and then the other component was Douglas Clark House. And I believe I sent out the email on that we're obligated 20 years to maintain an employee there, and that's under the direction of the tourism office. So just to make sure.
Been open for 7.5 years, so.
Yeah.
So we're only obligated to other.
Yeah, it's not 20 more, it's a total.
Right, yeah.
With Spiriton leaving Nashville, it would not surprise me if a couple of people from his organization were to apply for this.
That'd be great.
That was one thing I wondered, is rather than us do this like right away, maybe could we do something locally just for 2 weeks at no cost, like in Indeed, or, and I know you get accountants and people that didn't mean to apply for the job, because we did that with the county as the law director. We had a guy who didn't even have a license to practice in Tennessee. He was from Kentucky, and he was a lawyer, but he had owned like a rest stop or convenience store or something. Like, it was very interesting. But then when Jeremy called me, he's like, oh, I can't even practice in Tennessee. So I was like, how did you apply for this?
Never mind. My personal opinion is that is indeed an option, but for a position as important as this, do we want to limit ourselves to the possibility of someone who might have some skills versus opening ourselves up for the potential of someone that is highly qualified, highly skilled in tourism already?
I just don't think for free it hurts to.
Well, that kind of, yeah,
That's it, and because we live 20 miles from the music city. And how many universities, and how many entertainment zones, and how many venues, and there might be some really great local somebody. Oh, and again, we wouldn't have to pay for them to travel. There you go.
I think that's a pretty good idea. I would think.
So are you gonna head up that and be responsible for getting it on Indeed and going through all the applications and deciding who
So the staff at the tourism board can't do that?
Personally, I think there should be separation. I don't think that our outgoing director should be choosing one either.
Not choosing it, but putting the job description on.
I'll do whatever this board sees fit.
If we went that route, we need a defined time period, and we need to be very specific so we avoid.
Right, I was thinking like 2 weeks,
Uh,
because 2 weeks is not terribly detrimental. And then if we had like nobody apply. We had less than 2 people apply for the county law director. But we'll need the only thing is you'll have to have an income window.
Yeah, you'll want to put an income window, and you want to be very specific on the qualifications to narrow who applies. So it's, I'm not opposed. I think to be quite honest, I think it prolongs the inevitable, but 2 weeks is 2 weeks. We want to. If the board wants to do that for 2 weeks, we can get that put together, see what we get, send it out there, and let's see what we get.
Make a motion to go that
And
route.
yes, Barry, I will help you. I'm just a house mama, so I got all kinds of time on my hands.
But I do want to make sure that we're very clear that we are very specific.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, like the job
Years, experience,
description,
qualifications, et cetera.
yeah.
How many years of experience did it say when you did it?
I don't think we put anything on.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember talking about that.
I don't remember seeing anything in there.
I don't either, I don't remember what it said.
And I think,
And what can?
all of that will line up with our salary range, what we're willing to pay the
Right,
person.
yeah.
What some of these job search engines have, someone told me that you actually have like maybe bots that actually will flag specific, like, you're looking
Well,
for
you
specific
could-
experience.
yeah, like, I don't know what the
You're not gonna
salary-
spit out,
But you could call Wilson, Williamson, Rutherford, Montgomery counties and see what they pay. Well, we will not call Sevierville,
Why not?
because I'm sure that...
Oh, I'm sure that pays
Do you?
a lot.
Yes.
Oh,
Just-
Sevier County.
Yes.
You know, I'm not an expert
Uh-huh.
with the Indeed thing. I mean, I'm sure I could maneuver through there, but I don't know all the bells and whistles, so
I've
just
done
to put
it.
that out there.
I've done it many times when we were hiring for the, community child care center, Nurseryville nonprofit, and it's more than just throwing an ad out there and getting a couple, and I'm with Mayor Isbell, there's no harm in 2 more weeks. And you do need to set a budget, because it can cost you $1,000 before you.
Hey, we've started, this is Angela, she wanted to listen in.
Oh, okay.
And it's more than anything. That's why.
Well, I didn't know, that's why I was asking. I mean, I don't know, I was just asking.
I've done it, and
I don't know, checking.
I don't think it's odd man out that says, that's not a good idea, but I think it is prolonging the evidence. You know, if we found the right person, you gotta look at the facts. It could potentially save you $14,000, but you do need to set a budget, because it can quickly add up, on, you know, what that costs. On Indeed, they charge you based on how many clicks, or if someone sees your ad, whether they apply or not. I can't really tell you the dynamics of how they
I've never
charge.
used it, I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, I haven't either.
I've used it, and it's,
Yeah, we have an account with Indeed, I believe, through HR that we advertise, so I can certainly get that information for everybody, talk to Cheryl, and we probably have Cheryl post it. I mean,
That was gonna be my question. Since this is for a county tourism position, would it could it go through that way, at least at this point in time?
Sure.
And if you wanted to, maybe I shouldn't say this, if you wanted to pay for it through tourism, since tourism is a 501c6 and not a county department, we could work with it.
We can work that out.
Work that out.
I'll talk with David on how the mechanics of that work.
I would be far more comfortable with that, because you have someone skilled in county HR doing that and kind of screening through.
Oh, I agree.
would feel much more comfortable with that. I personally don't have the kind of time that I know should be invested in posting it and following up. If you get emails, it's really important that you kind of respond quickly, things like that.
Well, I guess I wasn't thinking about that, because the law director things just got emailed to us. The resumes were emailed to the ad hoc committee. So, I don't know who else they were emailed to, because I don't always check all the people on there.
And I'm laughing too, because the same thing you were talking about with the law director, when we were doing this with the child care center, and unfortunately, it was past 5 years, we had to do it 2 or 3 times. But we would get people that,
I know.
literally, like you said, worked at a gas station, had never even had, he's like, I need someone skilled and qualified with certifications and the ability to actually run this.
I've got kids, I'm qualified, right?
And all mine get to show up.
Right.
Okay, so if we're gonna do this, we probably need to set another meeting for 2 weeks.
See what
And see what the
transpires.
results are, and then at that point, make a decision on Center for Nonprofit Management if we need to. I'll have Cheryl get that out tomorrow, and then we'll, I'll just update everybody on what we got.
And just to let you know, I've had 3 people call me with serious questions about applying. So there've been 3. They're all local.
Do you know them?
I do. I know all 3 of them, actually.
Oh.
Can they forward us?
Absolutely,
Yeah, if they're interested, they can
Yeah.
resumes and such.
Especially if y'all have a great working relationship.
Well, I mean-
It's just gonna be up on,
I'm not saying they're qualified, I don't know if they are or not, but I'm saying they've inquired about the job.
I got you.
And I told them that y'all were meeting, on special call meetings, and we would know how they could apply soon, and I would let them know.
The easiest way maybe is just to go through Indeed, that way everything's consolidated.
Yeah, I certainly don't, I view it as, I'm here to help you answer questions, help anything, but I don't want to have anything to do with
And it's
hiring
pretty
a replacement.
want to get there and, you know.
No, no.
We have a social media.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'll do a
Well, I
posting.
mean,
So we can share it on the places you post it. You don't want to.
I'm really not a fan of the Peter principle,
Absolutely.
but
Once I have an
if
Indeed
there's,
link,
if you're,
that we can send it to, I'll post
once
something
you
on
desire the
our
position,
Facebook account.
I mean, I just.
And then that'll be a link that's.
I know, she's been up here shaking her head. I did think about that today. I had a myriad of thoughts running through my head, but that was one that did.
Mr.
come.
Vice Chairman, I think you do have a motion and did you get a second?
Okay, I don't know if we, okay, we had a motion and a second. Bergdorf, Shannon Bergdorf,
right, Baker.
my mouth's not working,
They
sorry.
call me B.
Made the motion.
My grandkids call me B.
V, okay.
Yeah.
Is there any more discussion? Do we go through,
Probably shouldn't.
another roll
I
call?
picked it out.
So just to make sure that.
For the next 2 weeks.
That what the motion is post on Indeed, meet back in 2 weeks,
Yes.
make a decision.
Correct.
If we have good activity or not, and what our move from there is.
Yes.
That is correct. Any other discussion?
Was there a dollar amount on that? It was mentioned, but it was.
What is our budget for Indeed?
I don't have a clue how much Indeed costs.
I was just looking at that.
I didn't know it cost anything.
They charge it per applicant, like,
Yeah.
I think it was like $40 an applicant or something, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's.
Government just said it's just a budget, $1,000.
Yeah.
I think so.
No more than 1,000, that just gives us a range.
Yeah.
I wanted to check real quick before we do that. In her, somewhere in her information, she gave us a budget.
Like a breakdown.
Oh, free advertising additional fees, $300 to $500.
Mhm.
And she was gonna be doing LinkedIn, and she was gonna be reaching out to people that are currently employed as tourism directors that had interest in making a transition. So, I guess we would wanna go more than 500.
That sounds good if it's $40 an applicant.
That's about like 12, 13.
Yeah.
10, if it's
10, 12,
$40, yeah.
And that was just quick lookup.
I will tell you, when I applied 11 years ago, I believe we had 40 applicants, around 40. I don't, it's not exact.
And I mean, Mayor's saying 1,000, I think that would give us at least 25, up to 25 applicants. If it's, I mean, does it hurt to
No.
go with this?
Thousand.
But if we get none,
Well,
we're
you
out
know,
another $1,000.
If we have a contract with Indeed right now, it's probably less than their
Less than that.
rec rates.
I would just something to do maybe not quick too, or.
Pricing
If
on
they,
the
if somebody
site is
that.
transparent, but very convoluted. But we can reject applications that don't meet the requirements before we're charged.
Mm.
Okay.
So, yeah, the price will be what the price is.
Right.
So, I say set it for
Yeah,
that.
all this stuff.
And if it's 2 weeks and we only get 10 applicants, then that's
We're at 540 and then cancel.
Well, 2 weeks from today would be March 2nd. We want to meet again there in a special meeting for,
What is the day?
it's a Thursday.
3:30?
Can we meet later so that Angela can maybe get here from work?
Can we change the dates then? We've got a CASA.
Oh, okay, that day doesn't work for you?
I just gotta be somewhere dressed fancy at 6 o'clock, so.
You want it earlier?
Me, I don't want that. You need an address.
Going on Tuesday?
Is that February 28th?
That is the 28th. I have a 6 o'clock Zoom meeting, but we can, if we start at like 4, I can be back home at 6 o'clock, it's not an issue.
Well, planning commission's in the chambers, so. So I would say 4:30 would be fine.
On the 28th you're talking about?
On the 28th, yes.
We typically meet at 4. That doesn't mean anything, you can set it for whenever you want, but
I think 4 is fine.
I would think so.
I'm wide open that day, so y'all tell the time.
We're not gonna spend more than an hour on this.
No.
So 4 PM on the 28th. Is Cheryl in town, or is she still out of town?
No, she should be in town.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Okay, to get the benefit of Indeed, how quickly can they get that posted?
If she's in her office now, I'll tell her that we need it up first thing in the morning.
So that-
Go ahead and write it up, and may have a few questions on qualifications. So she may reach out to you to get a little guidance on that.
I will look, I think I may have another document at home that they sent me when I applied
Okay.
that may have had that information on it. I don't think, what we had the other day didn't have that, did it?
No, I don't remember seeing
It's
it.
just a job description.
I will look and see if I can find when I applied.
Yeah.
I mean, how many years' experience did you have in the tourism industry? 10 or 15? 20?
12 to 15.
Okay.
We want somebody experienced.
I'm an old guy, so.
We've got a very robust tourism
Right.
in Sumner County there.
We need somebody who knows what they're doing.
So 12 to 15,
I mean, that may be,
but that would be
10.
commensurate with pay.
10 years?
The other
I'd
thing we have
say
to-
10 years.
Can't believe the experience and just
10 plus,
Round a number.
yeah.
At least a minimum 10 years. Okay. Okay.
I've not ever, put any type of job posting out on LinkedIn. Has anybody else?
well, I was gonna
I've
say,
seen them, but
Yeah.
My husband may have, but we don't
I
talk.
think LinkedIn's kind of
That's where maybe like
The,
professional things.
the hot thing right now, I think.
Mhm.
That's what she said. I've never done LinkedIn, so I have, I mean,
I'll
I'm on
talk-
LinkedIn.
I'll talk to
I'm sure our HR person is familiar with all that.
I'll talk to Cheryl about LinkedIn.
And Mayorsville, if she does a posting on LinkedIn, if she could maybe, shoot an email or tag us, then I can go in and do whatever, you know, like what, share it or whatever.
Right.
They do it again.
And I was talking earlier, I'm gonna post this, once I have those links, I'm gonna post it on our Facebook account, and that'll give people an opportunity to share it. So I'll email everything out to everybody.
That'd be
Very
great.
good. I know, I called David Law yesterday, because I had to, yesterday, actually, I called him, because I couldn't remember how the funding, the total funding mechanism for tourism, and it's all from the hotel motel tax, based on what budget, what y'all work out with budget and as the years come around. And I would like, because I'm not in your office, even though I'm on the board, but I'm new.
Sure.
For y'all to decide what you think you could afford for your director. Is that fair? Because that comes, because y'all is so different, right? The director doesn't come to the board and say, or you don't have to go to commission and beg for, can I buy more toner, or,
No,
like, we don't,
right.
you figure your own.
I do go
thing.
before the budget committee once a year.
Right,
and-
but once you get your
Right.
pie,
Once we get
you
budget,
cut it, slice it any way you want to.
since I've been there, I've never come back and asked for more or anything like that, so.
So if y'all could come up with what you think, does that make sense?
I just looked online and it said the average tourism director's salary in the state of Tennessee is $57,000 plus.
So we can clearly afford a little bit more.
So, and
We are a medium size.
yeah, that's average, that may include 10 counties
I
that,
cannot imagine we will get quality.
at 57,000, no.
No, you get a young graduate.
Bledsoe County
and
would
you
get, what,
a retiree,
57,000.
which the retiree might
Things
not
on
be.
Chick-fil-A.
I'm just thinking that.
Oh, yeah, it's reality.
Starbucks, you can
Yeah.
come close to that, yeah.
I
So
was
let me-
thinking to call some similar sized local tourism boards and see if I could get any type of information on what that looks like. it just kind of beat a dead horse, though, that is something that the Center for Nonprofit Management will do for us.
I will tell you that every county does it differently.
Yeah.
Some just, some pay more, some pay less. It's hard to compare oranges and apples, but
Now, are they getting the full benefit package with that too, or is that just salary?
But they're not on our,
we're not on county benefits.
So that would just be up to y'all's budget.
I mean, we do have health insurance and a few things, but we don't have the county, we don't have the pension or anything like that.
666, 2266.
All right. Okay. Did we talk about
I
it?
think we got a path
Mhm.
for 2 weeks. Barry, are you gonna take care of noticing and getting all that?
For the next meeting?
Next meeting?
Yes, we will do that.
March, was it February 28th?
February 28th at 4 PM?
And with regards to the salary, I'm sure that the HR director has a
We can
means of
get a range.
getting that information.
Yeah, I'm sure we can put a range in there.
I mean, which Spiriton makes, no, I can't say.
I know, somebody said, what did they do with David
Or more?
County? Oh, I'm sure it's
A
close.
million?
He makes $1 million? I way lowballed him. He's been there forever.
Yeah.
$1 million a year, would you let that go?
I don't believe in work to be a attorney.
I was gonna work it. I keep working.
But that kind of money.
I interviewed with him, I kid you not, in 1990, it was before I was married. I was working at law engineering, and I so desperately wanted another job, and I interviewed with him. So it was in 1991.
Oh, my.
So he's been there
He's been there for a long time.
for over 30 years.
Yeah.
He's still submarine.
Well, if they could figure out how to get, well, some of the color off, the colorful characters off the streets, then he would really, maybe he could make $2 million.
But seriously, every county does do it differently.
Yeah.
And depending on, where they are, and what tourism assets they have.
But we're in the top,
We're number 14 out of the 95 counties, we're the 14th largest.
as far as the tourism dollars.
As far as bringing in tourism dollars, yes.
We're the 8th largest county.
But, yeah, we don't have Dollywood.
Well, they're gonna try to build something like that though, when you're operating mills at one time.
Yeah, Dollywood's gonna build a water park next to Cosmo,
And then the rumor was when she got mad at them, she was gonna build it in Sumner County, but in the end, she decided to build the Dream More Resort in Pigeon Forge instead. There's also a story about, she almost built a water park in Sumner County.
There's also a Storyville Park that's gonna go, saying they're coming someplace in Middle Tennessee.
Lebanon, I think is where.
That's the last I heard.
Yeah.
All right, is there anything else we need to discuss?
Motion to adjourn.
All right, there's no motion, is there a second? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Thank you. Adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.